这个故事，如果你听起来不累，那么你的英语能力在美国日常生活是完全够用的。像学母语一样学英语，我们开始吧。
Philip was a rich man, but he could not move. Driss had just left prison. He did not want a job. Soon, one man could not live without the other. Philip sat in his wheelchair. He could not move his arms or his legs. His whole body was still. Only his head could move. He lived in a very big castle in Paris. It was like a palace. The room was full of beautiful art and old books. He had lots and lots of money. A private plane was also his. Now, he was looking for a new helper. Many people came for the job. They were all very professional. Good papers showed their skills. But Philip did not like them. He was bored. Their faces were all the same. They only saw a useless man. A young man opened the door. He was a tall, thin, black man. He did not wait. His name was Driss. He walked to the big desk. He put a paper on it. "I need a signature," Driss said. The beautiful assistant looked at him. She was not happy. Driss did not care. He looked at Philip. "I need you to sign this," he said again. Philip looked at the young man. This one was different. He was not quiet or careful. He was loud. His eyes were full of life. "You want the job?" Philip asked. "No," Driss said. "I want the signature. I need it for the government. I have no job. The government gives money to people with no job." Philip understood. The government needed proof that he was looking for a job. A signature from a company that said no was exactly what he needed. Philip felt something new. It was interest. "So you do not want to work?" he asked. Driss laughed. "The job is to help you, to wash you." "No, that is not a job for me." A small smile appeared on Philip's face. All the other people were so serious. This man was honest. "Come back tomorrow morning," Philip said, "at 9 o'clock. Driss was confused. He wanted the signature now. "But the paper," he started. "Tomorrow," Philip said. His voice was quiet but strong. Driss left the big house. He was angry. He did not have his signature. He went to his mother's small apartment. It was full of noise and people. He gave his mother a gift. It was a beautiful glass egg from Philip's house. She was not happy. "We need food, not gifts," she said. "You bring only trouble." She told him to leave. Driss had no home now. The streets were cold. The night was long and lonely. He had only one place to go. In the morning, he was tired and cold. He remembered Philip's words, "Come back tomorrow." He had nowhere else to go. So he went back to the big house. A woman opened the door. She was the housekeeper. She showed him the house. It was like a palace. There were big rooms. There were beautiful pictures on the walls. She took him to a room. "This is your room," she said. Driss was shocked. The room was for him. It had a big bed, and it had a private bathroom. There was a big, clean bathtub. He touched the clean white wall. It was smooth and cool. He looked at his face in the big mirror. Driss had not seen his own face clearly for a long time. The room was quiet. Its air was clean. He could hear his own breathing. He thought, "I can be a person here." He saw Philip. The rich man was in his room. A doctor was there. The doctor checked Philip's body. "You came back," Philip said. You told me to come back, Driss said. Philip looked at him. The job is yours. We can try for 1 month. Driss did not understand. He was a bad choice for this job. He did not know how to help a person. He had been to prison. Why me? Driss asked. Philip smiled a little. You do not look at me with pity. That is a good start. He made a bet. I bet you will not stay for 1 week. Driss thought about the cold night. He thought about the big bathtub. You lose, he said. Later, Driss stood alone in his new bathroom. He looked at the big, clean bathtub. A real smile appeared on his face. He thought, okay, I can do this. The next morning, the work started. It was very hard. Driss was not a good helper. A teacher showed him what to do. Driss fell asleep in the class. He had to put special socks on Philip's legs. This is for women, Driss shouted. They were not for women. The socks helped the blood in Philip's legs. He had to help Philip in the bathroom. It was a terrible job. Driss did not want to do it. He complained loudly. Philip just listened. Sometimes he laughed. One day, Driss gave Philip a bath. He used the foot cream for his hair. He used the hair shampoo for his feet. He did not know the difference. Another time, he was feeding Philip. The beautiful assistant walked by. Driss watched her. He put the food in Philip's eye. Driss also had to read Philip's letters. Many letters were about business and art. He found them very boring. He made paper airplanes from business letters. Philip was not angry. He found it funny. One evening, everything changed. Driss was in his room. He had music on. He was happy in the big bathtub. But the housekeeper called him. There was a problem. She had found a knife in his bag. Philip's friends were worried. They came to the house. They talked to Philip. This man was in prison, a lawyer said. He stole things. People from poor places have no pity. He is dangerous. Philip listened. His face was calm. Then he spoke. That is what I want, he said. I want a man with no pity. The lawyer was confused. He forgets that I cannot move, Philip explained. He hands me the phone. He does not see a sick man. He just sees a man. I need that. For Philip, this was respect. It was better than pity. One night, a sound came from the speaker. It was a small sound from Philip's room. Philip was breathing hard. He was in pain. The medicine he took had bad effects. Driss went to his room. Philip's face was wet with sweat. He could not speak well. Driss put a cool, wet cloth on his head. He spoke in a quiet voice. Breathe. Just breathe. It is okay. He stayed with Philip. He sat on the sofa. He did not sleep. Later, the pain came back. Philip needed air. Driss put him in his wheelchair. He took him outside. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. The streets of Paris were empty and quiet. The air was cool and clean. They walked for a long time. Philip started to feel better. They went to a small cafe. The city was waking up. They talked. You were always in a chair? Driss asked. No, Philip said. His voice was quiet. I had a wife. I loved her very much. Driss waited. He listened. We could not have a baby. So we loved adventure, Philip continued. We loved paragliding. "What happened?" Driss asked gently. Philip looked away. "There was an accident. The weather was bad. I lost her. My body was broken." He looked at Driss. "The real problem is not my chair," Philip said. "The real problem is that she is not here." Driss listened. He did not say much. Then Philip looked at him. "Your 1 month is over," he said. "You are hired." Driss felt a real smile on his face. He felt good. "But," Philip said, "you must bring back my glass egg." Driss pretended he did not know. "It is very important," Philip said. "She gave me one every year on my birthday. It is one of the only things I have left of her." Driss looked at Philip's sad eyes. He felt a little bad about the egg. It was more than a memory. It was a piece of a life. Philip had a secret. He wrote letters to a woman. Her name was Eleanor. They had written letters for 6 months. They had never met. They had never spoken on the phone. Philip was afraid. He was afraid to show her his body. Driss thought this was crazy. "This is not love. This is paper," he said. He took the letter. He found her phone number. He called her. "No," Philip said. He was very scared. Then Eleanor answered. Her voice was kind. Philip started to talk. He talked for a long time. He felt young again. After the call, he was happy. She wanted to send photos. This was a new problem. Philip wanted to send a photo from before his accident. Driss disagreed. "No, send a real photo, a photo of you now." He picked a photo of Philip in his wheelchair. "She likes you. She will not care about the chair." Philip agreed, but later he secretly asked the housekeeper to change the photo. He sent a photo of his old, strong body. Driss started to change. He was not just a helper now. He was part of the family. He helped Philip's adopted daughter. A boy in her class was mean to her. Driss went to her school. He talked to the boy. "You will be nice to her," he said. "She is my family now." The boy was very scared. Philip's world also changed Driss. They went to a gallery. Driss saw a painting. It was just white with some red paint. It cost a lot of money. "This is a nosebleed," Driss said. Philip laughed. Later, Driss started to paint his own strange pictures. He had a new way to see the world. It was Philip's birthday. He had a party. It was very quiet. The music was classical. A small band played in the corner. Guests stood in small groups. They talked in quiet voices. Nobody laughed. Their faces were very serious. Driss thought, "This is not a party. This is a funeral." He could not stand it. So he walked to the band. "Stop this sad music," he said. The musicians were surprised. The guests were shocked. Driss took out his phone. He connected it to the big speakers. A new sound filled the room. The music was loud and fun. It had a strong beat. Driss started to dance. Soon, everyone was dancing. The boring party became a real party. Philip watched. He laughed and laughed. He had not felt this happy in years. Later that night, the party was over. The house was quiet. Driss went to Philip's room. He had a gift. It was a letter from Eleanor. She had sent her photo. She was very beautiful. She was coming to Paris. She wanted to meet him. Philip was happy, but he was also very scared. She had seen the photo of a strong man. She did not know the truth. The day of the meeting came. Driss helped him get ready. But Philip was too afraid. He sent the housekeeper with him to the restaurant, but then he left before Eleanor arrived. He could not do it. He chose to escape. He called Driss. They went on a trip. They flew in Philip's private plane. They went to the mountains. This was the place of Philip's accident. They went paragliding. Driss was very scared. He thought, only a crazy person does this. But then he was flying. He was high in the air. He shouted with joy. The wind was strong and cool against his face. Below him, the world was small and green. He felt like a bird. It was a feeling of freedom. Philip watched from the ground. He smiled. He had given this feeling to his friend. Philip also had a surprise for Driss. He had sold one of Driss's paintings. He sold it to a friend for a lot of money. Driss could not believe it. "My nosebleed painting?" he asked. He laughed for a long time. But their happy trip was almost over. A problem was waiting at home. When they returned home, there was a visitor. It was Driss's younger brother. He was in trouble. He had marks on his face. He needed help. That night, Driss told Philip about his family. His mother and father were not his real parents. They were his aunt and uncle. His family life was very difficult. Philip was quiet for a long time. He looked out the window at the dark city. He thought, I am his friend, but I am also his cage. To be a real man, he must have his own life. I must let him go. He understood something important. Driss was the oldest son. He had to take care of his family. He could not be a helper forever. So Philip did a very hard thing. He told Driss he had to leave. You have to go back to your family, he said. This is not your life. It was a sad moment. They were best friends. Driss's heart felt heavy. Philip's eyes were sad. But they both knew it was the right thing. Driss packed his things. He said goodbye. He was a different man now. When he saw a car parked badly, he did not shout. He spoke politely. Excuse me, can you move your car? He asked. He was calm. He was responsible. He went home. He helped his mother. He took the heavy bags from her hands. She looked at him. Her eyes were tired. But today, they saw something new. She saw a man. She put her hand on his arm. Welcome home, Driss, she said softly. But for Driss, it was the loudest sound in the world. He helped his brother get away from bad friends. He told them, My brother is my family. Do not come near him again. He got a real job. He had an interview for a truck driver job. The man asked him about art. Driss talked about music and painting. He used the things he learned from Philip. He was confident and funny. He got the job. But Philip was not okay. A new helper came. The man wore a white coat. He was very professional. At dinner, the helper cut Philip's food into tiny pieces. Is it small enough, sir? The helper asked. Philip did not answer. He knocked the plate off the table. The food went everywhere. The new helper was scared. Sir, please be calm. Get out, Philip said. His voice was cold. He was sad and angry. He grew a long beard. The light was gone from his eyes. The housekeeper was very worried. She called Driss. He's not the same, she said. He needs his friend. Driss came back. He saw his friend. Philip was sad and messy. Look at you, Driss said, and he smiled. We need to have some fun. He shaved Philip's messy beard. Then they went out. They drove Philip's fast sports car. They drove very fast. The police followed them. I can lose them, Driss said. But the police cars blocked them. Driss made another bet. I bet they will let us go. I bet they will help us. He got out of the car. He told the police that Philip was very sick. He said it was an emergency. Philip acted sick. He breathed hard. He made strange noises. His mouth opened, and he let saliva fall. The police were scared. They believed the story. They cleared the road. They gave the car a police escort to the hospital. In the car, Driss and Philip laughed. They had not laughed like this in a long time. Philip's chest hurt from laughing. It was a good hurt. They drove to the sea. The next morning, they were in a beautiful city by the water. The sun was warm. The air smelled of salt. Driss took Philip to a nice restaurant. It had a view of the ocean. I have a surprise for you, Driss said. You have a meeting. Philip was confused. Driss smiled. You cannot run this time. He put the old glass egg on the table. Then he walked away. Philip sat alone. He was nervous. His hands felt cold, but they couldn't move. He looked out the window. He saw Driss standing outside. Driss smiled and waved goodbye. Then a woman walked into the restaurant. She was beautiful and elegant. It was Eleanor. Driss had arranged the meeting. He had brought Philip here. He had given his friend a new chance for happiness. Philip looked at her. Her eyes were kind. She did not look at his chair. She looked at his face. A real, hopeful smile grew on his face. A new life was beginning. Driss watched them for a moment. He turned and walked away. The sea breeze was cool on his skin. He thought about his mother's first words to him. You bring only trouble. He smiled a small, quiet smile. He thought, she was wrong. I can bring happiness too. And it was all because of the helper from Paris.
太棒了，你把故事听完了，你离英语自由又近了一步。欢迎加入频道会员，支持频道发展。会员可获得影片的中英文对照学习资料、跟读练习视频、影片、MP3 文件等福利。这里是像学母语一样学英语频道，我们下个视频见。